Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, ladies and gentlemen, to Global Impromptu Speaking session number 178. Thank you so much for becoming beautiful family member of this beautiful platform. Where we all encourage each other, listen to each other, support each other, elate each other, and help each other become a confident communicator and public speaker. Public speaker does not mean you have to gather public, go into public and speak whatever you want to speak. No, everyone is around us is public. When we make sense, we learn to make sense. Actually, that is called public speaking to me. Ladies and gentlemen, today our host, our topics master is Toastmaster Sunita. She's our humble and very supportive lady, a well-known Toastmaster, supportive to so many Gavel clubs. Today, she is going to manage this entire show. Please keep yourself on mute mode till your name is called up on stage by her. Today, the time will be managed by all of us. Our speech will be managed by ourselves. Minimum 1 minute, maximum 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Approximately manage your time and conclude as quick as possible. Ladies and gentlemen, will not take much of your time. This meeting is being recorded. If you want to learn better, appropriate, go watch this session, at least that session in which you have spoken for 2 3 minutes. At least you will learn better how did you manage your topic and how will you manage your topic well in next session. With that, please put your hands together to welcome our today's host, today's topics master, our own humble lady Toastmaster Sunita Sharjah. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Toastmaster Amjad. Uh, I'm trying to give you all topics which we haven't actually spoken about. Probably here and there will be a repeat. Let's try for some stories if you can. Okay. We'll start with Toastmaster Farida. Dr. Farida. Dr. Farida, your topic is don't do anything permanently stupid because you're temporarily upset. Don't do anything permanently stupid because you're temporarily upset.
A very good evening to my global impromptu family members. The topic that has been given to me is something that each one of us can relate to. Do not do anything permanently harmful to you if you are just upset temporarily. Which one of us can say this truly, that in a moment of rage, in a moment of anger, in a moment of fight and flight, you have not done any sort of action which has had repercussions, which has led to a little bit of self-harm. All of us have maybe cried ourselves to sleep, hungry, gone hungry for days, just because we were momentarily angry, given in quick resignations on an impulse, quit certain courses, let go of certain relationships, all on an impulse. But why does this happen? This entire scenario happens just because of one emotion, and that is anger. My global impromptu family members, let me tell you this. Anger is a potent spice. A tad bit wakes you up, but too much of it, it numbs your senses. You let go of the control that you have on your actions. So please, anytime that you feel cornered, you feel confronted, you feel subjugated, and you feel you have to, somebody is expropriating yourself from within you, do not fight back in a way which is inappropriate. Try to make sense of the situation, dissect the situation, and get to a point where you come to an amicable solution. Sometimes you compromise, sometimes the other party compromises. Sometimes you give in, sometimes the other party gives in. And I will tell you this, that as I have matured, I have confronted many people who have gone into a rage, absolute rage, and I have calmed them down in an instant. A couple of years ago, Zainab was extremely sick and she was down with gastroenteritis and food poisoning, and I had to take her to her own hospital. See, she's nodding her head. And believe you me, in that emergency room, in the mumbo jumbo and with a very busy emergency room, there was one father and daughter who were yelling at the doctor, the nurses, everybody. And they were in that same fight and flight mode. They were causing self harm. They were doing something due to temporary anger, just they were just fighting back the medical help that they could have received with open arms. They were questioning everything. What is this? Why are you giving this? What is the meaning of this? What is the side effect of this? Why have you prescribed this? And at that point in time, I made sure that the whole thing was settled amicably. And it was very peaceful. And you see each one of the health professionals in that emergency room, from doctors to nurses to healthcare assistants, all came up to me and thanked me for cooling down the situation. So this is one personal incident that I can relate to, but I'm sure deep down in your hearts, all of you can relate to an incident where you could have managed things more tactfully, but didn't because you let go of common sense. So, my fellow Global Impromptu family members, I love you all dearly. Do not let go of common sense at any point in time. Do not let anger get the better of you. Love you all.
Thank you, Dr. Farida, as usual, brilliant. We go on to our next speaker, Toastmaster Jesse, DTM Jesse. Jesse, this topic for you is, it's better to walk alone than going with the crowd, going in the opposite direction. In the wrong direction. It's better to walk alone than going with the crowd, going in the wrong direction.
Of course, it's very related to me. Most of the time, I am alone when I make decisions. When my whole family is against my thoughts. The first thing, when I lost my husband, they all said I cannot live alone with my two children. Come back and stay with my mother-in-law, which I did not agree to it, and I stayed on. And I struggle to give so much and to make others know you can do it. Stay by your own course and do not bend, do not let others take over your life. Most of the time, when you live alone, it's very difficult because there are so many things you have to depend on others. But on every circumstance, make sure that I can do it. I will call for help only and only if it is just impossible. Uh, that is one thing I remember, and I will tell others also. If the thing that your idea is from the gut, stay by it, and no matter how much opposition you get, you keep going, because when there is a gut feeling, there's a force from above that helps you and that guides you. And not you don't approach your family people, approach the strangers for ideas, and you get lovely ideas because they do not know the story of yours and why are you saying. They will give you the right idea. Approach the strangers and you will get going. And I say, don't worry, when you are strong enough in your own aspiration, in your own gut feeling something, go against the motion, go against the tide, and make sure that you get the help from above and from everywhere, not from your family, and you will succeed. And so far I am okay, and the remaining years will also be fine. So don't matter, never mind you go alone, but remain it's better to have your heart with you rather than give it away to somebody and go by their whims and fancies. Over to you, Sunita.
Thank you, Jesse. Good message there. Zainab, Toastmaster Zainab, your topic today is, are you more worried about doing things right or doing the right things? Are you more worried about doing things right or doing the right things? Over
First
to
of all,
you.
I would like to wish everyone a very good evening. So, the topic given to me is: am I more worried about doing the right things or doing things the right way? Now, if you would hear this topic on the first glance, you would think it's almost a pretty similar thing if you think about it. The right things are the things that you do the right way. If you're choosing the right way, and if you're going according to what has been given to you, then that should be right. But I would like to state that the world isn't as black and white as we would like it to be. It's gray. It has all the colors of the spectrum of the rainbow. You see red, you see yellow, you see blue, you see green, which sometimes pops up in our lives as our emotions, as our family, as the people who are close to us, the people you love, the people you would want to love, and that clogs your thinking. So, for example, if your mind was a windshield, this is that really bad smog the weather report told you about, because you cannot make the right decision at that point. Because at this moment, the right decision for you, it is like a three-way junction. Do you want to do right by morally right, or do you want to do right by the people standing you? So I think doing things right and doing the right things are two very drastic things. And for me, at least, I'm I've seen myself being stuck at this point a lot of times. Because as much as I would like to do the right things the right way, there are a lot of times that I question it. I'm like, what I'm doing, I know it's the right thing to do because it is legally right. But is it morally right? Or if it is morally right, do I feel that is right? Because I was taught it was right. But sometimes your heart, it doesn't agree with your head. And I'm pretty sure there must have been a lot of instances in your life where you must have thought about something that this is the right thing to do. But when you actually think about it, you don't feel like doing it, even though you know it's the right thing to do. And that's where you know that this might be the right option to do, but is this actually the right thing to do? Because you know there's something wrong. That is why your heart is stopping you. I feel this is where gut feelings come in. I majorly believe in gut feelings and vibes. And this is one of the things I heavily rely on to take my decisions. Anyone who knows me that I rely heavily on vibes. If I'm getting positive vibes from anything, I'll go ahead and do it. But even if there is an ounce of negativity that I feel, even if a doubt or maybe hits me, I will stand by it. Because there's a reason my body's motion sensors went off when I thought about doing something which was so morally or legally right. And I feel a lot of times I have these discussions with my parents also about some of the things that have been taught down upon us, which were thought to be right. And my parents never questioned their parents because they thought their parents were right. But now when I think about it, I'm like, if you do it the other way, there isn't anything wrong about it. So this is one thing that I would like to leave all of you. Just whenever someone tells you something and tells you, oh, this is the right way to do it, just take a step back and see all the other options and see why are those the wrong ways to do it. Because a lot of times there is no wrong option. It's just uh, your your point of view on things and how other people cloud your point of view on thinking that the option that they are telling you is the right option for you. But at the end of the day, you choose your right option and you choose the path you need to walk on. So make sure whatever path you choose to walk on is the right path for you and you do the right things along that path. And that would be it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dosma Silvana. Nice take there. Uh, we'll try to include stories if possible. Okay. So next speaker is Naveed. Naveed, in the haste of your daily life, what are you not seeing? In the haste of your daily life, what are you not seeing?
Am I audible?
Yes.
Well, thank you very much. I just have changed my place. Uh, I am alone in my hostel. That's why I am sitting near my gate. Uh, well, in the haste of the daily life, what I do not see. Well, it's been many times whenever I ask from people that how your Eid went and or how the good event you are coming from, how it went. They many times says they many times says that, oh, it just went not good, it just passed. Means many people I have seen that they are not thankful for their holidays, for their good events, and it just means that we are not thankful to God. We are not thankful to good opportunities we are given with from our God. So not even my colleagues, but my boss even many times I asked that how your Eid went. So I learned from these things that I should at least be thankful that whenever I have good events or good opportunities I have, I enjoyed my life. So I should tell that I enjoyed my life. I enjoyed my life. I should tell that I visited this and these places because this means that we are thankful whatever we are having. So I conclude in this that we should be thankful and we should see whatever uh, we are not seeing. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Naveen. Very refreshing. We now move to Toastmaster Sherman.
Yes.
Toastmaster Sherman, what lifts your spirits when life gets you down? What lifts your spirits when life gets you down? Toastmaster Sherman.
Table topic master and global into friends. And sometimes you feel actually life will come down to maybe uh, your boss will scold you, or sometimes your unexpected things happen, and also your subordinates are doing not doing their work assigned to them. And always actually I have a self motivation system. So because of that self motivation, I'm not expecting from other person come and back pat your back and say done a good job, or get up and correct yourself and doing a good thing. So I have faced number of things and get myself self motivation. So that's the best policy I can feel. And whatever comes, sometimes you feel it's a bad thing, but after some time you felt it's not that bad actually. uh, what do you call this, the non the devil is not that black, not that hard. So actually see the past only you can feel. And you are not sometimes if you are, it's called prejudice, only you can see you are going to face the big problem. Don't prejudice, you have to open mind. Then whatever you get, you can give solutions, you can come to a calm situation. So that's the best policy. Over to you, table talk
Thank
master.
you, Toastmaster Sherman. Very insightful. We move on to our next speaker, Toastmaster Jyoti. Can you please switch on your video? Thank you. Uh, Toastmaster Jyoti, the topic for you is, what do you love most about yourself? What do you love most about yourself?
All right. Thank you so much, Deputy Master. Well, if I look at this topic, the very first and honest thought came into my mind was that there's nothing that I really love about myself. I'm the worst and the best critic of myself. So right now I'm thinking, what should I say? Like, at least for the sake of saying. uh, but I have this bad habit of mine sometimes that I become too critical of myself. And it just happened the other day. One of my colleagues, uh, she said, "Why you are always beating yourself so dark?" I was just saying something about the work, and she said, "It's not a big deal. Chill." Um, but now I am trying to be positive, and I'm gonna say something positive that I really love about myself, and that is, even if the situation is not good, I'm struggling with something, I try to smile a lot. Even right now, I got the topic and I started smiling because I know it's an unpleasant situation, being vulnerable in front of everyone and sharing what exactly you feel at that moment, being conscious of your thoughts right at that moment. Um, so I smile a lot. At least I try to smile a lot. So that's one thing that I like about me. So sometimes it works. You start smiling, and the person around you, or who is sitting beside you, or people around you also feel good, rather than making you are miserable and making them miserable is not a good solution for a problem. So just be happy, smile, and let the let the God decide the course of the action. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you. Indeed, very true. Let's move on to the next speaker, Toastmaster Sudeep. Toastmaster Sudeep, the topic for you is, to what degree have you actually controlled the course your life has taken? To what degree have you actually controlled the course your life has taken?
Good evening, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
The beauty of life is that it is full of uncertainty. The beauty of life is that you can't guarantee the next 5 minutes of yours, whether you would be in heaven or whether you would be in hell. This is the beauty of the entire life. Life always takes examine your principles, your values, your thought process, in whatever form you define your personality. Life has its beauty to check it in every course of its journey, whether your job, whether your whatever values that you teach, it always checks whether you are up to the mark or below the mark. So life always pushes you in your highs and lows. People often talk about successful mantras, various success stories are always listen to it. But according to me, learning from your failure
His voice is dipping, is it? We can't hear you. We can't. I'm sorry, we can't hear you. We'll come back to you. Maybe we'll come back to you. You can sort out your problem by then. Okay. We go to the next speaker, Santoshi. Is Santoshi here? Santoshi is not in the room. Okay, Marilla. Marilla,
Hello.
yeah. Can you switch on your video, please? Is it possible for you to switch on your video?
No, I don't have proper network actually.
Okay. So you would like to take a topic, wouldn't you?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Marilla, what is your definition of heaven? What is your definition of heaven? Toastmaster Marilla.
That's an interesting topic. What is your definition of heaven? Well, I believe heaven and hell are two worlds that exist within oneself itself. There is no such thing as heaven which is a place of bliss and everything is all fine and hail and glory. And there's no place as hell where there's some devil or somebody going to come and attack us or whatever. I believe hell and heaven are both two states of being within oneself. From what I would take as hell would be something that is negative or some bad situation, like something within myself, like for example anger or any negative aspects of myself would be something that is a hellish situation. And heaven would be something like being happy or anything positive. So basically every everybody strives to get over the hellishness within themselves and convert it into a positive um, state that will enable them to reach heaven and experience bliss within themselves, so that they can enjoy living their time on the earth. And heaven is not something wherein one uh, does all the prayer services and has this final judgment, and there is going to be a place of eternal glory. It's all within our own selves. We create our own happiness, we create our own heaven for us on earth. That's something that I believe as heaven. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you for that. We now move on to our next speaker, Delisha. Toastmaster Delisha. What personal prisons have you built out of fear? What personal prisons have you built out of fear? Toastmaster Delisha.
Thank you for the topic. Good evening to you all, global impromptu family members. Out of fear, we have, because of the fear, we always uh, make some other things. For example, if I got fear and I wanted to show it that I was not fear, I did not get fear. So I have to pretend something. So that sometimes my make me some new skills actually. Uh, in some, for example, in a situation that my husband was not at home one day, and in a neighborhood house there was some misuse of the road actually. So I talked to them. Then at the evening, since they were very sure about that my husband is away on that day, they came and they were shouting. I got fear, but I do not wanted to show them that I have got fear. So I wanted to show that I have courage to face them bravely. And anyway, I don't need to make any uh, arguments or many difficult situations. So I stayed as if I didn't hear whatever they were saying. But anyway, they were at my gate and shouting and some and mentioned a few uh, words that I could not uh, shut my mouth. So I came who and asked, since I was fear, I wanted to talk aloud, and then talking aloud makes my fear blowing out. And then I asked, who is there shouting at my gate? And what I felt, that guys, actually they got fear and they came, come down. Their tones were get mild, and with few words coming and going in the both sides. Uh, we got made it to postpone the matter to discuss in the other day once my husband comes. So like that, I think sometimes we get fear, but we can overcome those situations. Uh, I wonder whether I got the topic right anyway. Thank you for the topic, Master. Didi.
Of course, in Umar's language, improvisation. As we miss Umar here. Okay, we go on to our next speaker, Toastmaster Rohit. Toastmaster Rohit.
Yes.
Okay, Toastmaster Rohit. Who do you think stands between you and happiness? Who do you think stands between you and happiness?
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sunita, for that wonderful topic. Who do I think that stands between me and happiness? It's only one person that stands between me and my happiness is me. Yes, it's me who is standing between me and my happiness, because there is no one in the world who can make me sad or who can make me happy. If I do not want myself to be happy, well, no one in the world can make me happy. And if I myself do not want to be sad, no one in the world can make me sad. Often we see people blaming others for their happiness, for their sadness, but they fail to retrospect and they fail to see that it's never the situation that makes anyone's happy or sad. It's their reaction to that situation which makes them happy or sad. It is totally upon us how to react to a situation. If we see the situation in a positive way, we can surely reap out the benefits from it. And if we try to see all the situation in the negative way, well, it's going to always hamper us and give us sadness. So yes, if there is someone who is standing between me and my happiness, is only me. Thank you so much once again, Toastmaster Sunita, for this wonderful topic.
Thank you, thank you. Very, very nicely spoken. Okay, we now move on to our next speaker, that is Prashant. Prashant,
Yeah, I'm here.
can you switch on your videos?
Yes, yes, I'm just doing the same.
Thank you, thank you. I was a little impatient. Toastmaster Prashant, have you regretted something you did not say or do? Have you regretted something that you did not say or do?
Oh, thank you, Toastmaster Sunita, and the greetings to all my global impromptu friends. So, have you the topic for me? Have you ever regretted to do so? Or what is the exact line? The last sentence, Sunita. Have you ever regretted?
Something that you didn't do or say.
Oh, something didn't do or say. Yes. So, if we talk about my life, so there are lots of things happening around us, either good or bad, or I'm doing the good thing and I'm just seeing doing something bad from the other society. If we talk about my regret, yes. So actually, I love my father too much, and I am the youngest son in the family, and I got lots of love from my father, but same times I'm not able to reciprocate same to my father. Well, whatever I think how I don't know how my father knows this my actually my home name is Sonu. So basically, how Sonu knows the things, basically what is required to the Sonu. So I wonder till the date, but at the last time he was very ill and I'm not able to go to see him because due to I think my job is a more more important than just going to live in the village. So that's the most regret I have in the hope till date. If I give the same reciprocate my love to my father, at least my father feel uh, at the last moment. uh, that's the regret I have. So my whole life. Over to you, Toastmaster Sunita.
Thank you, Toastmaster Prashant Kumar. I think many of us here can relate to that. Yeah.
Yes.
Toastmaster Revati, BTM Revati, are you here?
Hi, Toastmaster Sunita.
Yeah. Yes. Toastmaster Revati. If happiness was the national currency, what kind of work would make you rich? If happiness was the national currency, what kind of work would make you rich?
Good evening, good morning to my family of Global Impromptu Speaking Club. Uh, we all know that there are various currencies in this world, and currency is something which we determine for ourselves. If you want to be rich with the real currency you have, you can with whatever you have. As far as the wants are very less, and if we make some more money than wants, that is what is going to make us rich. It is not the real currency. And who would not be happy to take happiness as the real currency? I would be the first one to grab that opportunity to take happiness as the currency and also share as much happiness with others so that my currency grows. That is the only currency which will grow as you share. Otherwise, the real currency which we are using today is not going to grow. It will only diminish as you share with others. For example, if I am today able to share with our family, Global Impromptu family, we are about 15 of us, the happiness which I got today, I'm sure it is multiplied by 15. And this 15, what you have received, and if you share with another 15, you see exponentially it will multiply. And imagine the currency, the inflation, which will happen with happiness. I think it is the entire world which is going to be happy, not just one country where the happiness started as a currency. The entire world will have huge amount of currency, and it will lead to inflation of happiness. As we say in economics, any currency which increases is going to lead to inflation, and is the only currency more than inflation is going to exponentially multiply and bring all the happiness for us. Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sunita, and to everyone.
Thank you. Very well said, Toastmaster Revati. We now move on to Saurabh. Saurabh?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Yeah. Saurabh?
Yes, ma'am. Just a minute, I'm here. Turning on my video.
Thank you so much. Saurabh, what sustains you on a daily basis?
Ma'am, can you please write that in the chat box? It was not audible to me completely.
What sustains you on a daily basis? I will try. I got it? Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I have unmuted myself.
It's in the chat.
Thank you so much, Farita, ma'am. Madam Topic Master, my fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. My topic is what sustains me on a daily basis. Now, this particular thing is related to the most beautiful thing you can see in the sky. When the sky is covered with dark clouds, there is darkness everywhere. There's a brightest thing which you can see in the sky, and I call it moon. Now, if we see a moon, no matter how bright he is, there always comes a day when we are not able to see a moon. It will lose its shine, its illuminating power. A day he is full moon, and the very next day there's a crescent shape. But whenever I'm sad, I just look at that particular moon, and this particular thing tells me that sorrow. No matter if you have lost your shine today, remember, it's a part of life. Even the most beautiful thing in this world, me, the moon, loses my shine every week. But every day, I try to make myself better, to regain what I have lost. And finally, I achieved that goal of becoming the full moon, removing the darkness around the world with my calm and composed way, spreading the brightness and giving joy to people like you. And that is the thing which sustains me. So, my dear fellow Toastmasters, no matter how sad, depressed, whatever you are, remember one thing: nothing lasts forever. The time will pass. The time will pass. And those who are having a frowning face will be having the brightest smile in the world, a smile which can even mesmerize the Almighty God. Thank you, and over to the topic master.
Thank you for this lovely thought, Surya. We now move on to Vibha. Is Vibha here? Yes.
Yes,
Vibha,
yeah.
topic for you is, would you break the law to save a loved one? Would you break the law to save a loved one?
Thank you, Toastmaster Sunita, for this lovely topic. And good evening, good morning, and good afternoon to all the Global Impromptu family members. It's really an interesting topic. Law is what? First of all, law is a man-made thing which is made only to follow to get the good result. But if it comes in between me and my loved ones, I will definitely break it, because laws are there for breaking also. So I would surely break the law and would try the most to save my loved ones. I can say a story about it, that every lady becomes a mom anytime, every time. Means not every time, sometimes in her life. The same thing happened with me also. Once I was I had, that time I had only one baby. That was she was 1 year old, and she was very weak, and she even could walk late. And at that time I was always anxious about her health, her upbringing, and her growth. One day what happened, we were going to market, and in the mid of the market there was a road crossing over there. So my daughter just all of a sudden she ran away, and I found what happened. And that time I didn't think that there would be any law to save her, and I just ran after her to catch her. And that time there could be some accident happened with me also, and anyhow I got reached to her and saved her life, as well as I saved myself by saving my young one. So laws are there for breaking. Sometimes we should abide with us, but abide with that. But sometimes it's okay. Thank you. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Toastmaster Vibha, for that very honest opinion. And we now move on to Pragya. Pragya, are you here? Pragya? Pragya? I think she's not there. That, I think, brings us to the end. Toastmaster Amjad only. DTM Amjad Ali? DTM Amjad Ali?
Would anybody like to give TM Sunita a topic?
Jessie is getting ready.
Yeah, Samriddhi is also one thing for.
It's okay. Let Sunita speak, and then we will wait for Pragya and Samriddhi.
Yeah.
Sunita,
I
Yeah.
give a topic to.
Sunita, can I give you a topic?
Okay, our Toastmaster Sherman has a topic, I think.
Oh, okay, Sherman, give.
Yeah, Toastmaster Sunita.
Yes.
Brain is one of the marvelous creations in the universe. Brain is one of the marvelous creations in the universe. Toastmaster Sunita.
Yes. Thank you, Toastmaster Sherman. Good evening to my impromptu family. Brain is one of the most uh, marvelous organs in the world. Oh, I get the gist of it. Indeed, it's the most marvelous, the best computer you could ever have in the world. And the way it works, till to date, we have come across, we have gone to space, we have done everything, but we are not able to fathom how our brain works. How brain is the most marvelous creation in the world. Indeed, it is so. And we are trying to tamper with it so much. Just the other day, I read that you can, put what is a small chips in your brain, and it will help you to change the personality. It's a very scary thing because as it is, we have such a beautiful thing in our hand, and we, in our ignorance, we are going to mess with what is already been given to us. The best thing, unlike our heart, which is very fickle, the brain is very logical. Our heart, they say, is very fickle. That is why it's inside a rib cage, It has to be caged inside the rib cage because it's a very fickle bird which will fly away. But our brain is very logical. We are able to think. But you should not let your brain control you. The time when your personality is controlled by your brain, that is very dangerous. As long as you are able to control your brain, you are in control. So the brain is marvelous, and I would appeal to all of you all over the world, please let it be as it is. Let us not try to include and make any changes on it. Let us leave it as a marvelous creation that it is, and let us not try to make new types of putting electrodes and chips and changing the way it is. So yes, I agree with you. It's the most marvelous thing.
Thank you, Sunita. Actually, the brain has number of neurons connected. Neurons, number of computers. It's like number of computers. Thank you very much. Good speech. And Toastmaster Sunita, you can take over. Pragya has come.
Yes, Pragya, I have one for you. Why do
Sorry, ma'am. I think you called me beforehand, but my son was over my head, so I couldn't unmute.
Okay. Pragya, why do we only rest in peace, not live in peace? Why do we only rest in peace?
Okay. Quite heavier topic for me right now because I have recently lost my grandmother 2 months back. But this was something which I would not tell a story of me, but somebody who I have seen for last 30 years, my grandmother. When we are alive, there is something which binds us always. The relations, the society, the norms, the behaviors, and so many other things. They make us work in a particular manner, even if we like it or not. I saw my grandmother working like that, giving every bit of her life to her family, to the people around her, and the major part, for sure, to me, I would believe. She was never at peace because she always had a struggle in her mind between what she wants to be, how much she wants to do for her family, how she wants to raise me, what are the values that she would want to give me. I could see that tussle in her. Many a time she would come back to me and say, I wanted to be a doctor. She did her courses in medical but could not follow because she had 4 young kids to take care of them. When that went over, when my mother was grown up, she had to take care of me. I could still see that struggle in her. She was never at peace then. As she aged more, the physical ailments took over, which nobody has a control over. These mental and physical ailments made her weak, made her give up to life, made her believe that probably there is nothing called peace in life. There is never your way of life. It's always the people around you. I remember the last day when I called her, she said, Beta, she used to call me Beta because of daughter. Now I will be at peace because I can go wherever I want. I can swim through my life the way I want. I hope the life beyond this one will not give me struggles anymore. It would be my white light, my life. Although I could not understand the statement then that she's going to leave me the very next day, but now I understand. And I'm happy about the fact that she left the struggles she was in and she's resting in peace wherever she is. Because now she doesn't have to make others happy. She can just be herself and be happy. So, my dear friends, don't be scared of death because probably that's the only thing which will make you rest in peace. Try to live in peace, but I know it's tough for each one of us. Over to you.
Thank you, Pragya. We could almost picture your grandmother. That beautifully you spoke. We next move to Samriddhi. Samriddhi.
Yeah.
Samriddhi, the topic for you is, what do you have that you cannot live without? What do you have that you cannot live without? Samriddhi.
Thank you so much, table topic master of the day, Toastmaster Sunita. This is an interesting choice, interesting question because I don't think I have ever pondered upon this. So, something that I cannot live without. I don't think I have that much attachment to anything in life, to be honest. That sounds like I have a sad life, but that's not it. It's just, even though I am attached to my family, I feel like, okay, sorry, I'm sorry. Anyways, even though I don't have anything that I'm very attached to, and even though I have my family, I do have some people in life that I value a lot, but I don't think that I have anything that I would just die for. Because I hear people all the time saying that they would die for this, they would die for that. And I'm always like, would you though? Because everyone says that I would die for you, I love you so much and all that said. But to be honest, when it's actually the time, they never do. And I'm always like, would you though? I don't think I would ever die for anything, but I will be very depressed if the people I value will leave me. So I guess there are some people in my life that are very close to my heart, as my family, my friends, especially my sister who's signaling me to say her name. She's like, you can't live without me. Anyways, especially my sister and my mom and my dad. My whole family is very precious to me. But then again, at the end of the day, I don't think that anything in the world is worth giving up your life for. Because just the suicides, they are just, how do I even say this? I'm not exactly a person to be saying this because I've never had suicidal thoughts. But I think that suicides are kind of dumb, honestly. That just sounds kind of mean, but I just think that when you're just giving up your life just because of another person, I think that it's not really worth it. And you should know your own worth, that you should not just die for someone else. Because I'm sure that even if my parents died, they wouldn't want me to die for them, because that would just not be it. And yeah, that's what I think, that
you should know your own worth. And thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Samriddhi. That is called the wisdom of the young. Indeed. Okay, we now move to the last speaker, DTM Amjad Ali. Amjadji, the speech topic for you.
Yes, I'm ready.
Okay. DTM Amjad, your topic is, how would you describe freedom in your own words? How would you describe freedom with your own words?
Thank you so much, Madam Topics Master. How would I describe freedom in my own words? Is freedom mean doing whatever you like doing, whatever comes into your mind and you do? Is it this freedom? Is this freedom? I don't believe it. Freedom is considering other people's prerogatives, respecting their religions, respecting their state of mind, respecting the way they dress, respecting the way they eat, and speaking out accordingly. Not forgetting that everyone is doing for a reason. Everyone is doing whatever they are doing is for a reason. There is a history behind, good or bad. We need to find out after speaking to them, understanding where are they coming from, and tell them, where are you going from, where are you coming from, why do you do what you do, and why do they do what they do, and telling them, educating them if they, according to you, do something wrong. This is freedom to me. And if suppose you think in your culture the way I dress is not right, and if I still do the same thing, that's not freedom, that's not right. This is actually biasness. I have to respect, if I'm living with you in your culture and respecting your culture, dressing the way you dress, that is freedom. Because understanding other people, this comes from education, not the education which we learn from school or we got from school. It's a moral education, it's upbringing, it's the culture we actually rose in. Ladies and gentlemen, nowadays when we call people freedom of speech or freedom of impression, freedom of saying whatever we like, that's not freedom of speech. That is actually biasness. When we go against people, that is not at all freedom. Freedom is respecting other cultures, respecting others' point of view, and saying or speaking out whatever is in actually a circle. We are human beings. I have mentioned many a times, and I will be mentioning many a times, that we did not born by choice. We will not depart from here by choice. Whatever we are doing is a limited choice we actually have. So try to understand our life structure, then speak whatever you want to speak. If we say like, this is my body, this is my way of speaking, this is my culture, this is my tongue, this is my house, I can do whatever what I want, I can dance the way I want, I can dress the way I want, that is not freedom. That is actually animal light. We actually shift ourselves from human being to an animal. That's not freedom of speech. Animals do whatever they want, might is right, but humans don't follow that culture. Ladies and gentlemen, respect other people, that is freedom. Understand what people do, that is freedom of speech. Tell them what you do and why do you do, that is freedom of speech. But and continuing everything with that decorum or the culture or the protocol is freedom of speech, not whatever we say or think comes into our mind and we say it. It's not freedom of speech. That is biasnet. That is actually inhuman. Back to you, ma'am.
Thank you, DT Amjad. And I think that brings us to the end. What a fitting way to end the meeting, remembering what freedom is for all of us. Okay, with that, I think we come to the end exactly at 10:30. I'm having some internet issues. Luckily, it's come only towards the end of the meeting.
Let's conclude
So,
then.
hand it over to
Let's
you.
conclude. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how we manage our global impromptu speaking session. It was 176th session, and you all spoke very well. It was touchy. it was meaningful, it was actually made sense. Thank you so much for coming, and please come join us on Sunday again. It will be a meaningful session. It will be a 179th session where somebody else will be taking over as the host or the topics master of the meeting. Let's put our hands together to give a thunderous round of applause to Toastmaster Sunita ma'am for conducting this another success. A big hand for you, ma'am. With that power vested in me as a host of this very meeting, I adjourn the meeting. Stay blessed, stay safe. Bye bye.